California. NBCRadioNews.com. I'm finally getting my abs back thanks to TC1 Gel. I gained some inches around the belly last year and the holidays didn't help either. But then I discovered TC1 Gel and now 2019 is the year of my abs returning. TC1 Gel is a thermogenic gel that you rub on your waist 15 minutes before exercising. Then simply put on the TC1 sweat belt and start your workout. You'll sweat like crazy and feel the burn. It focuses on boosting circulation, increasing perspiration, activates body heat, reduces muscle fatigue, and burns off more calories. Get your TC1 Gel now. Go to tc1gel.com and use the code RADIO30 for a 30% discount on this amazing product. Again, RADIO30 is a code for 30% off the regular low price of TC1 Gel. You can also go to www.tc followed by the numeral 1 gel.com. That's TC number 1 gel.com. TC1gel.com. Get rid of a few inches and get your abs back with TC1 Gel. Also, follow them on Instagram, handle TC1Gel.
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show. We have our wonderful host here, Deborah Lee, and I am Lauren Crawford. I am the co-host, and we have a special show today.
We do. Yes, we do. Thank you, the very sultry Lauren, for your intro there. We are going to discuss something that needs definitely to be discussed.
Yes.
It concerns, well, how should we put it? Dating those who have had damaged relationships in the past.
Yes, or any kind
damaged.
of flaws.
Yeah.
I feel like, and the reason why we're talking about this is I had an encounter today.
Mm-hmm.
I was over at a cafe that I had went with one of my friends before, who happens to be a guy, and there was the coffee bistro worker, or the coffee maker person. She was there, and they seemed to have very similar interests, and he seemed to really like her a little bit. So I happened to be over there the other day, and he's been going through some things, and I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe this could be a situation, like maybe they could be friends or something could work out. So I told her, I said, hey, you know, my friend that I was in here with the other day seemed quite taken with you. And I was like, you know, maybe, and she was talking to me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, well, you know, he had just broken up with somebody, he was engaged, and I was like, and he's been having a couple of months, and she looks at me and she goes,
and here's the kicker.
Yeah, she goes, oh, no, I don't do that. I'm nobody's therapist. I'm not going to be dating any damaged people. I'm not doing that. And I was like, floored, and then of course then I wanted to be like, well, listen, you're not actually that cute anyway, because I was defensive over my friend, which the truth of the matter is he is a great catch. He's handsome, he's had a good job, he has really nice ambitions in life, and I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, who are you going to ever date who is not going to have baggage? I mean, look, even Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they have baggage. If you are over the age of probably 12, you've had your
heart broken and possibly carried a torch for a very long time. You know, so this we thought would be interesting topic as we wait for calls to come in. And
the number is, let me get it in front of me while we talk about that, but I thought we should talk about, because I don't know if this has happened to you with your readings, but I feel like there's a lot of times where maybe we have somebody calling in and says, oh, our number is 909-792-5222 for you to call in with those readings. But I feel like, and this happens with a lot of people, oh, I want to get the perfect job, and, you know, they have this crazy laundry list of things that they want. And the same thing when they're looking for love. It's like, oh, I want him to be 6'2", and I want him to not have any children, and I want him not to have all these things, and then they're like, and then they go out with these people, and then they're also flawed. Well, on paper or whatever, they look good. But have you run into that with your readings?
Oh, my goodness, constantly. And here's the thing that makes this particular method, those of you that have joined us quite often, you already know the drill here that I use. I'm showing this to our Facebook watchers, an ordinary deck of playing cards. And those of you that will be watching the podcast for here on KCAA Radio, ordinary playing cards. No hoodoo, voodoo, oracle, angel. It's just strictly your standard poker deck. My grandmother taught me this method over 35 years ago, and it can be truly spot on, or is it dead on? What is the new vernacular for that?
Well, I don't know that anybody has a new term for that.
Crazy accurate. How about we go with that? Because we are able to actually zero in on how another individual that you know or are soon to encounter, how they really feel, what's making them tick. Are they dragging a full set of Samsonite behind them from the last relationship, or are they fully resolved? Have they reached a point of completion with that other relationship? And a lot of times they will present themselves as, oh, I am so over that relationship, courtship, marriage, live-in situation, and yet deep down they are still really, really pining. So that's where we can look at the cards. We can give you the scoop on what somebody is really feeling. Is he really over her? Is she really ready to move on with a new guy?
Yes.
Does he or she really want that divorce?
Right.
Okay,
absolutely.
So just wanted to clarify that. And also to let you know that we have callers that are already in the wings. So please get on board. We'd love to have you call in, and we'll give you a free reading as well.
All right, so starting up, we have Danielle from Texas. How are you doing, Danielle, and how can we help you this evening?
Hi, it's me. I miss y'all.
Hi.
Good to hear from you.
Happy belated birthday, Deborah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And you know what? It was Lauren's birthday this week, too. Yay!
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, boy, she
happy,
kept that one undercover.
Happy belated birthday, Lauren.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Danielle. Now tell us, what can we do for you?
Let me just give y'all a little bit of update about me and Isaac. We've just been seeing each other more lately. We're doing better with our work schedules and our school schedule. I'm still in school right now, and he's working and going to school. But I'm glad I was able to call this week. I've been missing the show, but I just wanted to see what the card said for me today.
Yay!
Okay.
Well, that's awesome that it's going so well.
One thing that I have stressed during previous shows is we're able to clarify the potential that exists. We cannot make anything happen. We can't, draw on all the planets, the universe, the moon, the star. There's none of that. It's all about what exists for you potentially in terms of that future you want with the job or the person that you love, the life you want, literally the life you want. So to reiterate, as I get the cards warmed up, Danielle wants to know
basically what the cards have in store for her relationship with Isaac, and we've been following the course of this relationship, which I would say on the whole it's been several months now, and I feel like it's a relationship. It's got its peaks and valleys, and I think that Huh?
Yes, and I try to call every week. I was so sad I missed the last 2 weeks. My days are all mixed up.
Oh, well, we're happy when you're able to catch up with us.
Yes, I'm so glad I was able to call today.
So, did you have the talk? I remember we discussed that you both needed to sit down and have a good heart-to-heart. Where is this thing between us going?
No, not really. I'm just been taking it just like day by day. Like we just text. We text more frequently. Whenever we see each other, we just either we eat or we drink a little or just talk sometimes about like school or work or just I just try to like keep it light.
Yeah. Well, listen, what I've got here for you, Danielle, is the two of you are in a stalemate. He's holding back because he senses caution or hesitation on her part. She's holding back, and that is making him hesitant and uncertain about how she feels. Do you see where this is where communication is so important? And if you can't do it face to face, this generation has the most awesome methods for communicating. Oh my goodness. You've got your email and your texting and your Snapchatting.
We've got too many ways to communicate.
So you both are going to, somebody's going to have to make a move here. Okay? At least think of yourselves as standing at opposite ends of a bridge. I think somebody has to make a move toward the middle of the bridge. Ask him, what are your goals? What do you aspire to in the future? Do you see yourself, Isaac, having a family? It's not that you're proposing. You're simply suggesting a new conversation. We have audience members in the studio. What do you all think?
We talked about the future a little bit, and then I remember you saying, like, the liquid confidence, like, when he's drinking, like, he says all kinds of crazy things. Like, he's more confident about his feelings. So we've talked a little bit about the future, and just, we're just trying to, I guess, like, get to know each other again, and just, get more
I feel you're definitely on the right track. When he drinks, what I always envision this as, like, each drink is another soldier going down from the sentry guarding his fort, which would be his heart. And every time another soldier goes boom, boom, you know, does like a header into the dirt, then the fort is unprotected. And then people say, oh, when they're drunk, they don't tell the truth. Oh, I say, you know.
Yeah, like he says he loves me, that like he like misses me and like all this stuff. And I tell the truth too. Like I said, of course, like he knows I love him and he knows I care about him. So I just always try to keep the truth.
Going. Yep, keep going. I am seeing a little trip coming up for the two of you that I don't think you've even discussed yet. But it is coming up. It's like a little road trip. I see the both of you going on.
Yes, I've been saying that. My birthday's in February, and I suggested. I told him. I said ask off for a weekend in February, and maybe we could go on a trip for my birthday. So I hope that works out for me and him.
And bring a lot of beer along.
Yes.
Take to get him talking. This could be the best.
We need that confidence for him.
I was going to say, too, it might be a good idea for you to keep, like, a journal or something, like, day by day about, like, your concerns and your worries for, like, the days when, like, maybe there's a little lapse in communication or something, so you can remember that you were scared and you felt that way before, but then it got better again.
And, you know, the thing is, love is a strength. It's never a weakness. You certainly can take the initiative yourself, Danielle. Put yourself in front of him and let him know how you feel. Because I don't feel that you will be disappointed at all. I wish we could go on, but we already have a lineup. Honey, you call us again.
I will.
Get that trip, you know.
Yes, I need to get my plans moving. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you, honey. Take care.
Yay.
Yay for Danielle.
All right. Next up, we have Alan in California. How are you doing, Alan, and what can we help you with?
Well, I have a I don't know. Me and my girlfriend, we've been going together for about 11 months. We're doing good. But I guess when she was in the early 20s, she was in love with somebody a long time ago, and I guess it came back into the picture about a year and a half ago. They dated for a while, and he withered away and got married, I guess. I don't know. It seemed like he came back into the picture, and I don't know what's going on. She told me not to worry about it. She told me the other day that, you know, if I'm ready to be with her 24/7. Yeah, well, you know, I just kind of wonder about what's going on here between this. I don't know.
And you have every right to wonder. I'm guessing the situation he's telling us is that he's been dating her for 11 months, and a boyfriend from the past has re-entered the picture. Is that correct?
Excuse me?
For you, Alan, did an ex-boyfriend come back on the scene?
Yeah, I guess he has in a way, and I don't know. I really don't know that much. But.
How do you know that he re-entered the scene? How did you find out?
Did she tell you, Alan?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's some honesty for you.
What did she say exactly? Did she say, I saw him, or he...
They were supposed to see each other, but then I guess he canceled. And I don't know.
You what? He canceled. Coming to see her?
Interesting.
Well, you have all of our female thinking caps on right now. We're all mulling this over for you.
So, let me understand. Did they maybe say that they were going to get together and catch up or something like that? Or was it something more serious?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, here's the thing that often happens in situations like this, is that here she has really been focusing on you, and I see that she has. And I see that she's quite a wonderful catch. I mean, this girl is not your just run-of-the-mill woman out there. She's really something. And I do feel that you love her very much. Now, sometimes the universe will bring someone from the past to test the affections of that someone special, which in this case is her. Now, what I'm seeing in the cards is, Alan, don't you back down. I don't feel that this guy wants to interfere. I think that he just wanted to, well, you know, what like maybe catch up. It was just maybe apologize. There's just a very indistinct message here. Possibly revisit some intimacy of the past, but you said cancel.
She said they did have an affair 5 months ago.
They did?
And I didn't even know it. Well, yeah, we had an argument, and I guess it happened. I don't know.
Well, well, you know, we're all human. We all make ridiculous mistakes. I do feel, though, it's never going to work out for the two of them. I do feel he will step out, and you are going to be the one who, well, gets the princess. The thing is, will you still want her after all is said and done?
I don't know.
And, yep, of course. You don't know right now, and this trust is so fundamental in relationships. You've got to have that trust, that loyalty, that honesty. Right. And when it's been
we had it until all this started happening. We had it. We had trust. We had everything. I mean, it was great. Everything was great.
Well, my perception is from your reading is that she learned where her heart truly lies. And it's with you, not the affair guy. Right. Yeah, and my audience is nodding. So I think that they're onto this situation. You know, they've got a pretty good handle on it, too. Now, have you both sat and talked it up through, you and your lady?
Yeah, a little bit. And then she told me, you know, that she wasn't looking for how would you say, to get married and nothing. I go, I'm not either right now. I didn't say nothing about marriage. So we have been going together, and I did give her a promise ring, and we've been really getting along good until this, and now it's got me wondering. I don't know. I don't want to get hurt. I've been hurt before, and last time it's been like.
Do you have any advice?
Well, Alan, I would say, you know, just like if it was a girl calling with the same situation and you're a man calling and it doesn't really make a difference here, I think sometimes we want for something to work out because you kind of, in a way, think having the relationship work out is winning and having the relationship not work out is losing something. And I think that you need to figure out for yourself, is this something that I want? Is this something that I am willing to put up with? What if, you know, and this is somebody from her past, but what if you're, you know, in the future and she develops some sort of friendship with somebody? She sounds a little bit fickle to me within the especially being less than a year. And I think that women, men, I think everybody deserves to have somebody who is at the very least, you know, loyal. Mistakes and things like that happen. But I would really ask yourself, is this somebody, because 11 months does seem like a long time when you're in it and you've devoted all this time to it, you don't want to let it go, but 11 months is better than going into it, say, 5 or 6 years down the road, and then you decide.
My perception is I think the two of them are going to have to take a break to start over, to get back on the right foot. I tell you, Alan, my perception of your cards is that she will come to miss you and realize what she had when you have, you know, told her, I've got to step out of this for a while. And a lot of times, and the women in the audience are agreeing with me, a lot of times we don't know what we really want until it starts to slip away. Right. And then we're like, oh my God, I don't want to lose that man because I really love him. Or that woman in a situation of, you know, a lesbian couple. So thank you so much for calling. I think that once you two can establish some good communication here. And
well, we got it. She wants to move in together.
Yeah, well, you've got to talk. You've got to sit down and see what you can work. You know, they've got to find.
I would tell her too. What are your boundaries? Because, you know, if you tell her, you know, I understand and I'm thankful that you told me the truth about this situation, but I am not going to, you know, be somebody who is going to allow you to continue to hurt me in this way. And I deserve to be with somebody who's not going to. So if you're not that person, then, you know, and it's hard to say that, but that's honestly what I would do. How do you feel about that?
I feel good.
And, you know, I've got to tell you, the plot is going to thicken here a little bit, Alan. There's a female in your cards who's from your past, and she's going to enter your life again. You've been out of touch for quite some time, but you watch. You've got someone else from your past coming back. And, woo, this is going to get pretty interesting. So you keep in touch with us, all right, Alan? We would like to be able to keep following your situation with the cards and in talking with you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, hon. Take care.
All right. Bye.
That's a very typical situation.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of times I think people want to take a look at what they maybe gave up.
Right. But the fact that she said something, could have had the affair, and then she said something, I don't know. It's just it's like this weird gray area. You know.
Yeah, and the men in the audience are like, no, cut it off.
Well, she had the dude coming back.
Yeah.
And then he canceled, so she's...
I feel like it's a little...
I think right.
It's dicey, you're right.
Yeah. So she's playing. I always say the guys are pacing players, yeah, bullshit. That, right there.
I'm going to have to agree.
It's not just the guy.
All right, well, there you go.
I don't know. I just think... Yeah, I think having the affair, it'd be one thing if it was like, oh, this person's in my past and, you know, we stay in touch from time to time, but actually having an affair and then...
The ironic part is the other guy doesn't want her long term.
Right, and if they were...
Yeah.
He's there for a hookup.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And if,
Garrett, that's 100%.
And 5 months ago, they were only together for, what, 6 months, 7 months. So.
Let's all just sort of marinate in this as we pause for station ID.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
Stacy. And we are back taking calls from listeners using ordinary playing cards as the focal point for intuitive perception.
And we have Stacy from Virginia on the line. How are you doing, Stacy?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
We are fantastic.
We are so glad it's Friday. Oh, I bet you are too.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, how are you, and what's your situation that we can help you with?
So my situation is very similar to the man who called just now. I met this guy back in May, and we went out, had a wonderful date. It was 6 hours long. We went out for burgers. We went and hung out at a bar. He was really respectful because he knows I don't drink. And we planned to see each other that weekend, except he went up to D.C. with some of his friends. He ended up staying a day longer than what he had planned. That's fine. Whatever. You know, life happens. I messed up, and so this man's in the Army, and I'm in the Navy, so I was also chatting with another Army fellow, and I accidentally sent the first Army guy a picture of the second Army guy that I was supposed to be sending to a friend of mine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so then I didn't hear from him at all. He went on, he ended up meeting someone, had a long-distance relationship. I met another man that I dated for 2 months. Friday, he pops into my head. Sunday, he pops into my Tinder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it sounds...
Yeah.
It
so
sounds like you got the bases a little loaded there, Stacy. What's really happening?
So we match immediately, and I never go on my Tinder on Sundays, but something's like, hey, log on, see who you know is on. We match immediately. We start talking again. Talk for a few hours on Sunday, couple texts on Monday, nothing since Tuesday morning. So where is this going?
Do you want us to look at what he's thinking and feeling? If you'll hear from him again? Or what is your question on?
Will I hear from him again? What are his intentions? Why has the universe brought him back into my life?
Okay.
Well,
has she initiated conversation with him at all?
Yeah, audience member wants to know, have you initiated conversation with him at all?
I have. Yeah, so he messaged me first on Tinder, and then I gave him my phone number because usually when I stop talking to these guys, I'll just block them on my phone. But for whatever reason, I didn't block him. So we talked for a while, and then Monday I texted him. I said, hey, I hope you enjoy your day off. And he said, yeah, thanks. I got stuff to do around my house. I'm like, all right, cool. Tuesday, hey, good morning. He wrote back, good morning. And then nothing since then.
Well, this sounds a lot different to me than the previous situation in that I think that today's dating, and I know a lot of people who are dating, they tend to kind of, at first, when they're not really serious, they're actually talking to several people, and then eventually, like, maybe they have a better connection with one of those people and continues dating. So it sounds like to me that when this happened, you were still kind of in that stage of not really settling for, like, one person at that time, except for most people try to hide that fact, but you got caught, you know, but a lot of people are doing that. They just don't openly tell somebody, like, hey, by the way, I'm actually talking to 3 other people, you know, at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think you just were you in a committed relationship at the time? Did you sit down and say, you know, we're only seeing each other when this happened?
Oh, no, we had only gone out once.
Yeah, so I think this is a lot different regarding that. So I don't think that he's going to have some sort of, you know, profound trust issues, because more than likely, while it was probably upsetting to him, he very well could have been talking to, you know, a few people at that time himself.
Yeah.
So,
okay, now I'll give you the cards perspective, which I think is possibly 180 out from what the two of you are. Well,
I'm sorry. I tell people, full disclosure, not the psychic love doctor. I'm only the psychic love doctor side host or something.
Side piece.
Yes, I'm the side
psychic love doctor side piece. Awesome.
Yes, this is my office side piece. So what I'm getting from the cards is, first of all, you mentioned, why is the universe, how did you word that about bringing him back into your life?
What is the universe trying to teach me by bringing him back into my life?
What I'm getting very distinctly is the universe is showing you your power. And the thing is, when you have power, you have to make sure you don't misuse or abuse power. So it's as if Stacy's a kid in a candy store in a sense, and you can have anything you want, but maybe you need to keep your selections very simplistic. Instead of wanting a whole bag of candy, just pick out your 3 favorite,
one really expensive
or one really expensive one. That's good from the audience
right there.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to tell you, and I know you have said that you have absolutely no goal toward marrying again, but these cards insist that you will. Okay, but it's not this one. This one is like an exercise for you. I'm trying to find the word to explain this.
It's like a time passing person. Some people come in and out of our lives like whatever, winds or something, right? And then some people are trees and there's roots or something.
Well, let's call him a door opener.
All right.
Okay.
That you've had a rugged past, which we don't need to go into, but we know it. And the thing is, this man has been brought before you for you to step through that door, to realize the true essence of your power, yes, but also for you to find yourself capable of loving again. And for all the right reasons, okay? You get what I'm saying? Now, you've got full... Look at the men. I mean, my God.
There's some men in there.
It's like it's raining men for Stacy. But this guy just doesn't have that fire in his belly that I would think from your character, Stacy, you would really like to have from him. He's got, go ahead.
Oh, no. So, so all the pictures I see of him, because, I read people's interviews and stuff like that. His eyes all look, he's got a bright smile on his face. He's got a really great surrounding energy, but his eyes just look empty.
Kind of like a shark's eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, how they look like that. Well, you've been brought before him, too, for a reason that is supposed to have a big effect on his life. And that reason is, hey, buddy, this is a really great girl here, but you know what? She's going to just fade away if you don't step up. I mean, he seems like, wouldn't you want, I'm asking my females in the audience, wouldn't you ladies want a guy who's kind of like gangbusters and, is ever present and he's calling and texting and giving you presents? And
some of them don't leave.
But the one for you, I feel, is on the way. He's coming through as a king of diamonds. I see a very fast courtship here. I mean, where it's how God can have such a sense of humor, where he's going to say, well, Stacy, you think that, you're the one that's picking and choosing, but boy, have I got one for you. And he will roll them out in front of you, and you'll be swept so off your feet that you're going to be like a giddy schoolgirl. And everybody at work will make fun of you because of not being the, the strong and, the...
And you probably won't accidentally send him a picture of a different man.
Yes.
Because you'll probably only be thinking of him, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the one I'm perceiving for you now. The two of you are going to be, would be like 2 peas in a pod or thick as thieves. But I mean, it's like he can finish your sentences. You know what he's thinking. It's just a really, it's an awesome connection. Your Daryl, let me put it that way. Your Daryl is on the way. Okay?
Oh,
that's a good one right there.
Yep. And they only come along every so often.
Dime a dozen, is that the word you like to use?
Yeah.
So So, Stacy, you call us again and drop by the office sometime, all right?
Okay, we'll do. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Right, bye-bye.
All right. Well, next up we have Linda from Michigan.
Yay, Linda. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How are you?
How are you guys?
Oh, I think we're a little bit on fire tonight. Yep. Sometimes it's just like all the planets align for us, and we really enjoy a wonderfully intuitive hour.
It's been a lively show.
And what can we do for you, my dear?
Oh, what do the cards say?
Well, in what area of your life would you like us to focus?
Love, career, relationships,
children, friends, family,
health.
Let's go ahead and do love.
Love?
And
okay.
How is love treating you these days, Linda?
I think it's all right.
You got some love in your life?
I do.
Yes. And it's meeting all of your expectations?
For the most part, yeah, I think so.
Can you give the first name, possibly?
Of my partner?
Yeah.
Mike.
Okay, let's take
all
a...
right.
Now, what would your question be? You want to know the future of this?
Yep.
Okay. How long have you... Find out the particulars while I look.
All right. So you and Mike have been dating for a while, or is this a new person in your life?
Almost 8 years.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, that's wonderful. So, do you have some new concerns, or are you just generally like a checkup kind of a thing?
Do you want to know if you're going to get married?
Yeah, that'd be a good question to ask. I do a lot of...
Has it been discussed?
So I've been doing that.
You've been doing that. What does he say when you do that?
It doesn't always give me a clear answer, so I'm still learning to clear my mind. I think I'm willing my stone to move.
Well, my perception is that 8 years is a heck of a long time to be dating somebody. That's, essentially like a common law relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
You are so ready in your reading. You are so ready to have a strong, stable, secure life. You're ready to commit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, on Mike's side of things, I'm not seeing this. I feel that there are issues that he has inside of him that I'm leaning in the direction toward a high anxiety. Does he strike you that way? That he has a lot of anxiety? Yes.
Yeah.
So much so that he's terrified of taking this step. I feel it actually stems from having been really hurt in the past.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you guys live together?
We do.
So is this, and I might be wrong again, but so I mean, is this kind of a situation where for Mike, he might like things, and if he's got a lot of anxiety, if he likes things the way that they are, and they've been living together, and they've been together this long, for Mike, he might not really see any sort of benefit so much to getting married, other than maybe, it might make you happy, which should be a benefit to him.
Right.
Well, and here's the thing. With his high anxiety, he rationalizes that he has 1 foot in this relationship, but 1 foot's still kind of outside, where he's like riding a fence. And I'm not really sure that giving him an ultimatum would be a good move, because I could see this guy, heading for the hills. Has he tried any counseling?
No, that has been shot down.
Well, what if you put it in the arena of it's for you, that and you would like him to support and come with you, but then of course the therapist is gonna
bring it out of it.
Yeah.
well, the other twist to this is I am a therapist.
Oh. So what's your own personal, do you ever look at him and think, oh, well, this is what's going on? What do you think's going on with him?
Well, you kind of hit it right on the wall.
Yeah.
A lot of anxiety, lots of fear, the unknown, very comfortable.
He's so scared of trusting his feelings. Like love is really scary. I've often said this. Men could go out and wrestle a gorilla, but they can't handle love when it's in their hearts.
Right.
It's to them a weakness, where to us it's a strength.
That's correct.
So, oh boy, this is a tough situation because I'm seeing both of their sides in this. And boy, well, I'm going to give you the bottom line. If I actually had somebody put a gun to my head and say, just tell her what's the bottom line here. Here's what I'm seeing. Linda, you're going to stay in this as long as you want to be in this. And I'm afraid I don't think Mike is really going to budge more than where he's at. No. Like I said, he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But I am seeing someone else coming along for you that's really going to make this situation extremely interesting for you, all three of you.
Yes.
Have you met anybody yet that kind of gives you, that little
a spark?
Yeah, a tingle. Yeah.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Right. And it really does for you, because if you follow the path that you are on right now and Mike does not choose to get on the same path with you, I feel you're going to find a future with someone else that is going to not even want to make you wait 8 months before wanting to make it real, make it official, put a ring on it, so to speak. And
I believe that too.
Do you? Well, it's coming. And it is going to be a really amazing world. And the thing is, you can say to Mike, hey, I've been here for 8 years. Now somebody has come along that really wants to be with me. And then he can make a choice. But I really still think he's going to run right back into the bushes on you. He's really got some issues with commitment. But the new man does not, and I swear it's going to be the best of everything for you.
Yay!
Best relationship compatibility, sexually. I mean, it's off the hook, sexually.
I believe that too.
So if you kind of called for that sort of confirmation, yes, it's out there for you. It's on the horizon. And I feel, it'd be, what are we, in late January? I am feeling by, I'm going to say September, October, possibly sooner, but this is where I see you and Mike reaching a potential fork in the road.
Wow.
Okay, now remember, you still have complete freedom of choice. A reading it's not carved in stone. It's simply the direction your life appears to be headed. And yeah, the cards tend to be very accurate. But I always want anyone that gets a reading from me to know that they are still the master of their own destiny. But if you thought there was somebody out there that could love you till the cows come home, oh yes, indeed, there is.
Yeah. So that would, explain a lot with my stone, changing from day to day.
Yeah, well, I think you're reaching the conclusion here for the two of you, and Mike he really needs to step up. He's going to lose a wonderful lady.
I agree.
Well, you call us again now, please, Linda. We'd love to keep in touch with you, and the more readings you get, the more clarity we're able to bring to a situation. So much so that you'll know the next event. Yeah. All right?
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for calling.
All right.
Take care.
Good night. Bye.
And this is coming up for us as another person who has had readings during the show for quite some time.
We have Casey from Chicago.
Oh, boy. Yay, Casey.
Woo.
Well,
thank
you.
Casey,
I'm glad
how are you doing?
Hi, good. In the interest of time, since we're getting to the top of the hour, and Deb, I haven't had a chance to slobber on your shoulder since Daryl passed, so I'm going to try not to be emotional.
Okay, that's what we're here for. We love slobbered shoulders.
Well, it's the 3-month mark.
So go ahead. You're going to be our last call for the night, so the stage is yours.
Yesterday was a 3-month mark passing for Daryl, and so you have you've become an expert in what it's like to be a long-term caregiver to someone with an illness, and someone that you love very much. And I have a similar situation with my dad, and that's what I want to ask you about tonight. So I get a chance to listen to your show tonight because he's in the hospital.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I mean, it's okay. He just has an infection, but it's just one of those mile markers where it looks like there's a lot of potential in the next 3 months to have a change. I don't know if he's going to, when his time is finished, but I've been doing the caregiving kind of on my own for the last several years, very burnt out, beyond burned out. Whenever there's a change, the family gets very dramatic and they want to see how they can help, but they tend to not really be helpful. They just do more drama. And I've sort of come to peace with I just need to see this through the end no matter how burnt out I am.
Well, I'll tell you from my own experience, anyone out there that has been a caregiver at any time in your life, it is one hell of a tough job. You're dealing with somebody like in Daryl's situation, the last few months of his life, he had become very argumentative. He could be mean. He would say, it was like he came in and out of being lucid, and there were times when he was highly delusional, and you go off in a corner and you cry because you know that this is not the person that you love. If this is somebody else.
Yeah, and just not feeling well, ever.
Well, and checking your cards, my perception is that your father has such a fighting spirit to him that he would leave this planet kicking and screaming.
Just like Daryl. So they're both soldiers.
Yep. He's going to hold on to the bitter end because he can't bear the thought of leaving all of you. And even if he has times when he's say abusive and is verbally, or you feel very unappreciated, a lot of that is due to his inability to cope with his long-term illnesses.
Yeah, he's actually an easy patient in that regard. He's never abusive. He's an evolved spirit. But the family's sort of dysfunctional.
But yeah, I do feel that there's plenty of time left, that he will recover from this. And I actually feel he's going to go into an upswing for several months. We'll say at least 3. That he is going to seem like he's really getting better. Sometimes I wonder if that's the surge that they talk about. But I just think it's going to be a natural upswing for him.
I teach him that it's like that Monty Python scene where bring out your dead, and they have the guy, I'm not quite dead yet. I'm getting better. I always tell him that because they've tried to put him in hospice 3 times, and he's like, no, not quite.
Oh no, that man's got an iron will.
Yes, he does. It's just that I've had a chronic illness myself, and so I'm not. I'm beyond burned out, physically and mentally, and I don't know how to ask for help from my family in ways that would be meaningful.
Well, I've got to tell you, Casey, for yourself personally, your cards kind of have a sense of humor here, where they are saying that a lot of the feelings you have, the feeling burnt out, the frustration, there's a bit of a cloud of depression. You will not believe what the cards are saying. You need some good sex. Some good, passionate sex. I'm serious. It's right here.
How do you feel about that?
I would say, how else do you reinterpret that? Would there be some other beverage or chocolate or something else that would supply the same sensuous experience?
I don't think that there's a really good chocolate. That's
substitute for this. Now, some people enjoy a party for one, if you know what, if you catch my drift. And that's okay. The thing is, you need to get released through the orgasm. You need to get those hormones and juices flowing. And my audience is just looking at me like, oh my God. But Dr. Ruth, I bet you if she was on, she'd agree with me. I can just hear her saying nothing actually brings those endorphins to life, to making you feel like a real live human being. Then
I have no doubt about that. I'm still at a point with the illness I have, which is orthostatic hypotension, that I can't get a blood pressure. So I don't have enough hormones yet to get a blood pressure.
Oh wow! Okay.
So, boy. I'm not quite operating on all cylinders physically, and I don't mean just I don't have enough neurological.
Well, hopefully there'll be some cylinders firing.
Yeah.
Right.
Be positive. There is a nice shift coming for you this spring where you are going to feel better.
Some self-care.
Yes, really.
Other than what she was speaking of earlier, some self-care, maybe remind yourself that you do need to get better, because once this whole situation goes over, you do need to be able to be there for yourself, too.
Oh, and very good point, Lauren. Very good point.
Well, that's why I was thinking that when that jumps out at you, Deborah, that probably the first place your mind goes to is sex, but... But you probably mean self-care.
Self-care, get healthy, and then, the what she said after that. Yes.
I also see you, Casey, at some point joining a really good support group for men and women, and I feel like it's concerning grief or handling, psychological issues or your own long-term illnesses. But you're going to meet somebody there, and I feel that's going to culminate in marriage for you. And it's under a segment of your reading that is what you do not expect at all, but that's when the best things in life happen.
Absolutely.
So I hope this has helped, and I hope you call earlier next time so we can spend a little bit more time.
I didn't want to bring down your show. Everyone else had such fun readings, but it's always inspiring, and it helps me because how much progress you've made in processing your own.
Well, and maybe we could evolve that sexual release into just enjoying passions about your life. Right. If it's painting or flowers or whatever the case might be, explore your passion and you will feel a lot better. There's a lot of good therapeutic healing.
Like they say in Flashdance, take your passion and make it happen.
There you go.
There we go.
I like that.
Thank you. As I always say for you, Deborah, as I always have, you're right, I know you're right.
Well, be in touch, hon. I promise we'll reconnect and catch up, okay?
Thank you, lovely lady. Good to
love
talk
you
to
and take care.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, we're hearing from somebody in the audience is saying, I thought it said take your pants down and make it happen.
Oh my. That's definitely not the lyrics.
I know, but I think that comes from the male side of the house.
Okay.
So we are really out of time. We're going to have to hit the door here in a couple of minutes. But all of you, when you call in, we do take a great personal interest in your situation. Nothing is off the cuff or, Lauren is a bit of a funny girl with her cute comments and her humor, but she speaks from her heart with a lot of affection. We have audience members that love to be helpful with all of this, so you guys are the ones that make this show. We just show up for you. Okay, so now what you want to do is join us next week. We're going to be on at Fridays, of course, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that would be 4 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to have Chef on call. He will be back. He is out on assignment tonight doing he had a great big event to do. Here we go, everybody. Take care. Bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.